I'd never heard. Like I followed her story quite thoroughly. I know the stories of former detainees, but I never heard that from her. SubhanAllah.
Yeah. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, when he was in Makkah, they were enemies of Islam who were noble enemies. They were noble enemies. And then you
Yeah.
had enemies who were not noble. They're the ones who, took intestines of animals and threw it on him, or did. And you have those vile criminal people. And the Prophet ﷺ raised his blessed hands and he cursed these people. And those are the people who never accepted Islam. They died a terrible death, right? And then you had the people who were enemies of Islam. They fought Islam. They killed Muslims, but they never crossed certain limits.
Yeah.
They never crossed certain limits. Abu Sufyan, right? Ikrimah, Suhail ibn Amr. You have these people who are fighting Muslims. Khalid bin Walid killed Muslims, right? Umar ibn al-Khattab, again, he wanted to kill the Prophet ﷺ, but they were decent enemies, right? Decent enemies. And wallahi, when I look at the Chinese criminal regime, there's no nobility there. There's nothing there. There's a lot of criticism of, colonialism, right? And there's a lot of criticism of the post 9/11 wars, and there should be. But I don't think anything matches. I think China's just outclassed everybody in cruelty, in barbarism, in just inhumanity. And to think, I mean, I don't want to be really harsh here. Please, brothers and sisters, I want you to recognize something. This nail is so sensitive. If you've ever had a cracked nail or you've had wood go in, right, and these sisters have having their nails ripped, this is not a joke. This is really messed up. These people are psychos. They are psychos. And sister,
and to be honest, like, I mean, we had Zumrat Dawood last week, and she was composed, and Gulbaha herself, she does. I could see that she wanted to still give more and just tell more, but we really just had to stop her. Like, we couldn't. It would have been too just damaging. Like, we could.
It was taxing.
And it really taxing on them and just bringing back so many memories. But it's just, it's even what she gave us, that's still nothing compared to what's actually happened. Even though that was really traumatizing, that's still, almost nothing. Some of the stuff that you do here, subhanAllah.
These people are filthy criminals. Sister Guli Masood wrote that she's a survivor of the Urumqi massacre on the 5th July 2009, which, by the way, guys, this was a relentless killing by Han Chinese of Uyghur Muslims. It's kind of like the Hindu mobs going crazy in Delhi and the police just watching. Yeah.
So what happened? In a nutshell, basically, under the protection of the police, normal Chinese citizens went and slaughtered Uyghurs on the street, like right in front, like kind of what's happening in India right now, just on the street, willy-nilly. But the difference in India is there are clips being shared on the internet. The internet is rife. The people have access and they're just sharing it. But back then, there was internet blacked out for a good year. And very few images. I mean, there's still stuff on YouTube. So literally type in what she's written, Urumqi Massacre, July 5th, 2009. There is stuff out there. But a lot of the stuff that's been shared was on the part of the Uyghurs that were writing, but they never attacked Chinese people. They were writing after they were met with fire by the Chinese government, because it was literally the Tiananmen Square massacre, but the Uyghur version. After the Uyghurs were gunned down, they went rioting on the streets. So that stuff is on the internet, but very few stuff of the Chinese attacking the Uyghurs is up on the internet. You can still find it, but very rare.
Yeah, and China always has this way of spinning, this thing, and what's amazing is when I watch GTV, I'm shocked at how brazenly they can just say the exact opposite to what's going on. You know, the art of propaganda is you sort of tell a half truth, a half lie, to make it a little bit believable. But these guys are so pathetic at their propaganda that even when it comes to these concentration camps, you know, which are killing fields, raping fields, vocational camps, they call them, you know, rather than saying it's a detention center, even, you know, they're maintaining the people are free to come, people are free to go. Which, I mean, come on, if you guys want to be good at propaganda, at least try, yeah, at least say something a little bit believable, yeah. And they seem to think the whole world is stupid. They really do think the whole world is stupid. And I literally think to myself sometimes, you know, Allah says none knows the soldiers of Allah except Allah. Yeah, anything could be the soldier of Allah. A spider, this. This criminal regime, it doesn't know what it's messing with. It literally doesn't know what it's messing with. You know, when Allah releases His punishment, it's not light. It's something which has taken down civilizations. Yeah, we know when the Soviet Union tried to end Islam in Afghanistan, what happened, right? Allah's punishment comes down. Allah's punishment could be anything, right? You could have a uprising in much bigger than Tiananmen Square actually happening, and you'll have a civil war in China. Things are very fragile. People are fed up, and you know, right now there's a real danger, inshallah, of a recession in China. And if a recession takes place and people are hungry, people are going to go Tiananmen Square on steroids. They're going to go crazy. And I've also noticed Chinese people are way more braver against their criminal government than they were a few years ago. You find people, actually citizen journalists, who've been arrested and they've disappeared, but they still made videos. They literally said, F Chinese government, I'm going to make this video. I've seen those two things, right? And I think that China's going to implode if this continues.
Yeah. Again, it's the money. Money is where it hurts them. So boycotting Chinese goods, businesses not dealing with China, don't bring in Chinese products. If you are selling Chinese products, if you're someone of that, you know, of that capacity, just you hit them where it hurts, because you're essentially fueling the China oppressive machine with every Chinese product that you buy.
Absolutely. Sister Guli's written another comment, which is worth looking into. Thank you. I'm in Canada now. I should and must speak out for the Uyghur youth who disappeared right after July 5th. So I'm writing you a message. Guli, please email me on darwinidelusions@gmail.com. We would love to speak with you as well. Because at the end of the day, you know, it all adds up. It all adds up. It all has a massive difference. So Jazakallah khair for everybody for tuning in. This didn't go as I expected.
Yeah.
I did not expect her to say those things, and then I just saw her emotion and her body language. I didn't think it was ethical to continue, because she was reliving all of that, and especially at her age, she went to the camp in 2015, I think.
Yeah. So, 2017, May 20th or 22nd. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's still.
She was in there for 15 months. Like
in 2018.
So she would have left 15 months. So October 2018. Yeah, about. So it's been like 2 years since she's been out, or 1.5 years. Yeah. It's
very fresh. Very. Subhanallah. So Jazakallah khair, Arslan. Any last message you'd like to give before we end?
No, just I'd like to thank you. May Allah reward you for, you know, giving the Uyghurs this platform to shed light, because even though, I mean, like Sister Gulbahar and others, they've shared their story in mainstream news media, but it hasn't really reached down to, say, our level or to the Muslims or to the local level still. I mean, there are still a lot of Muslims out there that, like, you know, there are Muslims. I mean, they know there's Muslims in China, but this sort of Turkic sort of, you know, Ertuğrul's, you know, like, I'm sure we talked about this, like, you guys love Ertuğrul. Well, did you know Ertuğrul is Turkic? And so the Uyghurs are Turkic people, and basically China is killing Ertuğruls.
Yeah.
So if you love Ertuğrul so much, then especially in Pakistan, it's a huge craze right now in Pakistan. They love Ertuğrul. Well, speak up for the Ertuğruls that are being killed every day and being raped every day.
What do you think about Halima Sultan, right? If she was in a Chinese camp, right?
Yeah.
Well, she'd be gang raped, right? Just like our sisters are being killed right now. So at the end of the day, if you want to maintain this line that we're Muslims, we love Ertuğrul, which is fair and good and well, and I'm a big fan myself, then let's wake up and smell the coffee. Ertuğruls are being killed, and Halima Sultans are being raped, right? And all of this is happening. And Osmans, future leaders, they're not being raised by Ertuğrul and Halima Sultan. They're being forced into orphanages where they don't even see their parents, and God knows what those teachers are doing to them as well. So at the end of the day, Allah says in Surah Tawbah, take action and Allah will see your action. Yeah, this ummah is not an ummah of words. Yeah, a part of the belief in Islam is your belief is not complete without actions, right? Actions are part of belief. They're both linked. So if you really, truly care about this issue, I ask you from the bottom of my heart, make sure you share this video. Make sure you follow Arslan Hidayat. Make sure that you get this message out there, because at the end of the day, one click that you do, it may be one small thing that allows you to go to Jannah. Why? Because that could be the tipping point in which because I'm telling you, they're panicking right now. They're actually panicking. One of my plans is, once the lockdown's over, to go and, through the other organizations here, go do some protests, right? Outside the Chinese embassy. There's so many things we can do. Wherever you are in the world, start something, do something. And at the end of the day, this problem is not going to go away, and it's going to happen to us. If we don't help them, then how do we expect them to help us when we're in the same situation? This was an independent country. I want everybody to recognize that. They're an independent country, and today this is what's happening to them in their own homeland. You're comfortable right now, wherever you are in the world. How do you know this won't happen to you or your children? You have no guarantee. So you literally just have to take action, and you have to understand this is a matter of urgency. This isn't something that we can sit around and hopefully Imam Mahdi is going to come and do something. No, this isn't Imam Mahdi's job. This is our job right now. Imam Mahdi, Allah sends when He sends. Allah has taught us to do everything we can, and then Allah sends His support. So we're not going to wait for somebody. We're going to do everything possible, and Allah will send His help. Jazakallah khair for everybody joining in. And Arslan Hidayat, thank you so much for joining me again on this, and I really do appreciate your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.